What will happen when the Simpsons stay at the Burns mansion? Homer will slide down the escalator in the Burns pajamas and crash into the Burns painting. Burns' bed was incinerated by Homer pulling down the switch. The next moment, a new bed appears. Homer even got into a dressing machine and got dressed. Bart found the safe behind Burns' self-portrait. He opened it by sound. There's a guard living inside. They'll be driving Burns' car and horse around the mansion. Lisa needed binoculars to see Bart's face at the dinner table. When eating a burger, there are so many forks. Homer spilled wine on his clothes and on Lisa's face. At this point, Burns was in the hospital getting a physical. Sucked his mouth down a tube during a spirometry test. He got caught up in a CT scan. Homer drove Burns' car to the bar. He invited them on board Burns' yacht. The yacht hit the rocks right off the boat. On the yacht, a man and a cow got married. Homer organized a monkey duel. They danced on the yacht. Homer turned around and the ship was taken over by pirates. And the pirates took their money. Homer thrashes the pirates.
Ah, Roper! Charlie horse! Charlie horse! Ah, my mouth! In the net, right?
He was thrown into a fishing net and thrown overboard. At that moment, Burns returned to the mansion. Homer returned to the mansion with his wounded monkey. Do you know what Burns would do to become the popular richest man? He'd find Homer at work. He'd bring Homer up to the roof and flip a coin. The coins will destroy the car and Lenny's head. Burns writes Homer a check. Homer was to donate it to the hospital. He sat up late at night without a thank you call. Turns out Homer made the donation in his own name. Burns turned around and saw the statue of Homer. He found Homer. He was persuaded by Lisa to go on TV, but he was so pissed off at the host that he collapsed. He took Homer to Loch Ness in a helicopter. He decided to catch the Loch Ness monster. Homer struggled to put on his wetsuit. He got a good look at the monster. Homer went into the loch.
It's been down in that icy water for hours!
Played video games on the other side. Homer was getting used to wearing a dress, and they still hadn't found the monster. Burns decides to drain the lake. He found the monster balloon. The real monster crushed the balloon with his foot.
Come on, boys, overpower it. I'll do it myself.
Burns strapped the monster to a helicopter. He brought it back to Springfield. The flash dazzled Burns. He hit the camera and started a panic. People ran away, and Burns decided to be his weird, selfish self. They took Nix to Vegas to be a waiter. What happens when Homer becomes a philanthropist? Well, he donated his old clothes to his street friends.
Pants smell worse than my old pants.
He decorated the photo and gave it to Lenny. Smoothed out the corners with Lenny's eyeballs. Gave the last pork chop to Marge. She's gonna be eating that pork chop with tears streaming down her face. Homer was at the church urging people to donate. Watching Burns give a dime. Homer kept poking him. He pulled out another dime. Homer kept poking him in the head again. Burns put all the money in the box.
Won't you just take my blood? Yes, I'm old.
Homer became the church's top fundraiser, and he built a free skating rink in the backyard. Free skating for everybody. Flanders went to the soup kitchen to give out food to his neighbors. He found them all at Homer's house. It all started when Marge put sweaters on the dogs and cats. Homer had a sweater on. Carl and Lenny were giving him gifts, and he took a bad candy bar to Lenny. He took Bart's game cards and traded them for money, and he bought an astrolabe with the money from the Christmas tree, so they had to buy a dead tree, and Homer burned it down. His family thinks he's a selfish man, and when he slept, he had to sleep on the couch. Homer woke up the next day and decided to be a philanthropist.